Hey guys, it's Alex here. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's been on my mind recently, as well as share a little bit of my personal experience with some stuff, and that is, does metal have a look? People that are not involved with metal are usually going to have some very strict opinions on what they imagine when they think of a metalhead. If you ask a non-metalhead to describe a metalhead, they're going to come up with some sort of thing. They're going to come up with, like, some, bearded, vested, mohawk person, or long, stringy, like, curly hair or something, or they're going to, think about, like, alt girls, or, like, emo goth girls, or, so many different things, or, like, emo kids from the 2000s if you're talking about scene stuff. And there are a lot of stereotypes. I was actually doing an interview with Robert from the Metal Meltdown the other day, and in that we talked about how there are so many different people in the metal community, but that they don't really have a face and they don't really get represented because there's not much representation when it comes to the creators or bands that really put things on people's radar. And so you usually will get a very one-note, tunnel vision sort of mentality when it comes to what you imagine a metalhead will look like. Especially if you look at, like, creators, if you look at bands, it usually will fit a certain criteria. And obviously, that's not always true, but if you actually look around at a show or a festival, or if you talk to people or look at forums, there are genuinely so many different types of people that fit a lot of different boxes, whether you're talking about religious beliefs, sexualities, genders, races, ages. It really is like a brotherhood and sisterhood, but unfortunately, I think a lot of times people forget that it is supposed to be a brotherhood, and it is supposed to be a sisterhood, and they kind of stick with this mentality that it's all supposed to be one thing. Me personally, I have always dealt with the fact that I don't fit the mold. I don't look like what people would imagine when they think of someone in this niche, when they think of someone in this community. If you look at, like, the quote-unquote larger channels, I'm putting that in fucking air quotes, I don't fit the bill. If you look at other channels, and I'm not gonna, like, list them, obviously, because it's self-explanatory, I don't really look, I don't really talk, I don't act the part, and I have been very outspoken about things about me that maybe don't fit the particular mold, and that's where I really want to highlight something. Every time I have talked about certain marginalized communities, or certain groups of people, or things that you don't really see mentioned much, whether you're talking about, like, the sexualization of female vocalists, which I did a video of, or LGBT thing, trans or, like, gay or lesbian or bi people that are in metal, when I talk about, like, frontmen and front women who are like that, when I talk about, like, African American front men or women, or, Hispanic, whatever you want to say. It always, without failure, there are always a ton of comments of people saying, thank you. I don't see this talked about. I don't see this mentioned. I don't see this, ever put on people's radar. And I think it's because people think that you are supposed to look and you're supposed to act a certain way. And fuck that, I don't abide by that. There was a long period of this channel where I pushed myself into corners that I didn't want to be in, where I tried to act and I tried to look and I tried to portray myself in a way to fit in with what I consider to be the norm, with what I consider to be what you're supposed to look like, what you're supposed to dress like. I went through a phase where I literally tried to, like, wear specific hats, and I tried to wear my hair in a certain way, and I tried to literally, God forbid, I was literally trying to purchase, like, leather jackets for the sake of making myself look more rugged and looking more rough, and I was fucking miserable. Genuinely, I did not like it. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I talked. I didn't like how robotic I was. And when I look back at my old videos and I look at the confidence boost over time, not only with how I talk in front of a camera, but the topics that I'm willing to talk about, I just stopped giving a shit. I literally stopped saying that I was gonna fit in, and I started saying I'm gonna make things that I'm passionate about, that I enjoy. And guess what? They not only started to be my most popular videos on this channel, but they also gave me a platform to be able to talk about things that you don't hear talked about. And if I stick out like a sore thumb, so fucking be it. If I had a quarter every time I have gotten a comment on my material of fat, gay, you look like a fucking troon, you're a tranny, you're literally just making assumptions about me. Don't know me from Adam. Don't know jack shit about me. But they'll make assumptions. They'll see something and they'll make assumptions because, God forbid, that's the all-seeing eye, it's the defining trait, and it's kind of one of those things where people just use ammo, they like to weaponize things because they don't have anything to actually say about you, so they have to degrade something like your appearance or your voice, which that's another thing. I've noticed how my voice has changed over time on this channel, because when I first started, God forbid, I tried to hide my accent and I tried to make myself sound more rough. I'm just gonna be completely honest. If you go back to my early material, I can probably even do the voice still, like, you'd hear me talk like this. Hey, review family, keep it high, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, and welcome back to another video. Like, what the fuck is that? Who is that? What is that robotic speech? I just don't like that. And I unfortunately would do that because I wanted to fit in. But honestly, just to sort of wear my heart on my sleeve for a second, is that's kind of how I've been in my life. I have always sort of tried to fit molds, and one thing that has always inspired me on this channel is when I'm able to talk about something in this community and shine a light on people that aren't particularly talked about, that don't look the way people think, that don't act or talk or believe the same things that is like the quote-unquote norm for this community. And I don't really necessarily believe in the norm, because every time I talk about that, there are droves of people who say, hey, I related to this. And it's for that exact reason that the review family, I know I say that a lot. I say the review family. I call you guys the review family. And that's always been like, you know, the cheesy, like, sort of community name for this YouTube channel. But it runs deeper than that, and it means something to me. That holds weight to me, because I do see this like a family. I see this as a community. And no matter what you are, no matter who you are, no matter what you believe in, or if I am completely diametrically opposed to you, or you're diametrically opposed to me, that doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't. This is a family. You will always be welcome here, regardless of your sex, religion, your gender, your age, your beliefs, your no matter where you're from, if you speak English or not, what your favorite band is, what your favorite genre is. If we disagree on everything or agree on everything, I will treat you the same, because I don't think this community should build walls and for a genre that is built on being that brotherhood and sisterhood. I want to embody that, and I want to platform that, and I want to talk about things that are important, because metal doesn't and shouldn't have a look. And if you actually talk to the people, there are so many different stories and so many different types of people, and that's what draws me in. That's what I love. And that's pretty much it. But what are your opinions on this topic? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is, my name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.